Welcome back to News in Focus. We are coming to you from the Athlone Stadium here in Cape Town. And joining me now, I'd like to welcome the President of SAFA in Cape Town and the National Vice President of the South African Football Association, Mr. Bennett Bailey. Mr. Bailey, thank you so much for making the time for us.
Yes, thank you, and good mornings.
No, absolute pleasure. Mr. Bailey, this cheque that was delivered to the gift of the givers, how much or how far does it go in not just raising the awareness of the plight of the Palestinian people, but to assist them in many other social aspects?
It will go a long way, and that's why we've looked at the conduit of Give of the Givers, because they've been doing a lot of humanitarian work right throughout the world, and more especially in Palestine. We as a football association, our core business is football. So we look at how we can collaborate and partners to spread the message of humanitarianism further. And Give of the Givers, that is the only vehicle that we can trust in doing that. So this is proceeds from our game that we played against Palestine. We never knew there would be a profit, because with 2 days to go, we were facing 3 million deficit. And we panicked. But we really turned that around. And one of the partners who really worked very hard and who turned it around was Give of the Givers.
Mr. Bailey, I want to talk on Israel as a football team. And currently they're still competing on an international level. They're, of course, in World Cup qualifiers for the United States next year. There's a campaign by many organizations called Red Card Israel. Is this something that SAFA is a part of? Is this something they would like to be part of? And what do you say to a campaign like that, given the indiscriminate killings that are happening in Gaza and the genocide that is occurring there?
I want to take the last one first. That is inhumane for anywhere that's happening. And therefore you will see SAFA Cape Town being actively involved on the campaigns on the Cape Flats to combat and to fight against gangsterism, drugs, and the evils that's happening on the Cape Flats. So it goes without reason when we go international that we must continue with that fight. However, I belong to an organization called SAFA, so I have personal opinions about it. So we would have discussed this matter about a week ago, and that meeting didn't take place, but that was on the agenda. And that shows our seriousness of really discussing this matter. We've discussed this matter before, we couldn't finalize it, and now we said we are placing this on the agenda ourselves. The last time it was not on the agenda, but now we're going to do that. So SAFA is born out of the struggle. SAFA is not an organization that just came together, a couple of groups, but we are born out of the struggle. If you look at our preamble has been crafted in such a way that there's no other answer that we can give than to support the plight of the Palestinian people.
Last week, the Spanish sports minister, and this is coming from a Western country, from a country part of the European Union, said Israel needs to be banned from all sports. We've seen in the Vuelta a España, I know this is not football, this is cycling, where Palestinian protests have been happening each and every stage of their tour against the Israeli team that have been competing there. When a Western country is speaking, sometimes we have this notion that it's much louder than some from the global south. But if we were to take the narrative that it's much louder, then this is a loud voice coming, especially from a country like Spain.
Yes, and it's really appreciative. If you look at some of the other Western countries, I know Ireland also took in a position, and there's some others as well. But South Africa haven't taken a stance, and that is unheard of. At the acceptance speech by the president of SASCOC, Barry Hendricks, he spoke in favor of the Palestinian people. And that was the first time that someone in a national leadership of sport in this country did that. So, like I said, I belong to an organization called SAFA, SAFA Cape Town. We've already done that. So now that is where we need to go to as SAFA, and then take a formal resolution. And I cannot see how we can go any other way. I cannot see.
But here's the thing, Mr. Bailey, and you would know quite well. It took various sporting organizations here in South Africa when apartheid was happening, and FIFA, obviously the IRB as it was known at the time, ICC, I'm talking about the three major sports bodies, and of course the IOC said, no way is South Africa going to compete when you have oppression happening in the country. When Russia, of course, launched its attacks on Ukraine, Russia was immediately banned. My question to you, Mr. Bailey, as a sports administrator, and I think the public feels frustrated by this, why are these federations dragging their feet when it comes to Israel? That's a problem, because if you want to be neutral in a situation like this, and surely Israel has to be banned.
Yeah, you cannot be neutral. I mean, in the struggle, we've always said if you're neutral, then you're with the oppressor. So you cannot be neutral. And like I said, I'm representing SAFA Cape Town. And within SAFA Cape Town, or within SAFA, I represent SAFA Cape Town. And therefore, that is the fight that we're going to take up. I've done that the last time, where it was inconclusive, the meeting, and I will take it up again. Because that is my commitment. We are born out of the struggle, and we've always said, Palestine will only be free Our freedom and their freedom cannot be disconnected. It's the same freedom. So they can only be free when they other way around. We can only be free if they are free. So it stands to reason that we have to. FIFA during the when there was still apartheid in this country, FIFA was the first world body to ban the South African, that time was the white body. Cricket did not. Rugby did not. Boxing was the other one to follow. So we have a history in leading. So this is what, and therefore FIFA asked that it be placed on the agenda. And they also consult right throughout. The world is shifting. And I think maybe that is the reason for some international sport bodies being hesitant. Because the world is shifting. If you look at it, it has become more conservative. If you look at this guy who died the other day, I think Kirk or something like that, his name is?
Yes. Charles Kirk, yes.
Yes, Charles Kirk. That has become a major news item. And I said to ask myself the question, why? And then I realized the world is shifting towards conservatism and is being led by Donald Trump. So I'm not saying I do support that there must be a conservative, a wait-and-see approach. I'm saying that is where it is. But FIFA need to lead. If FIFA is going to lead, then the IOC will also change.
You spoke about the FIFA Congress. Obviously, we've got Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who's one of the leadership there within FIFA. And I'm sure Dr. Danny Jordan, who's himself has, he fought during apartheid. Surely there has to be a decision that comes with regards to Israel, because this cannot continue. While I was speaking to Ali Sable earlier on, and he said, when you murder innocent children who are footballers, a junior Palestinian football team, I mean, this is beyond disgraceful that we've ever seen.
Yes, you look at the place of Yunus Khan. That is where some of the greatest footballers are coming from. And that place has been destroyed. And when the Palestinian team was here, that was a safe space because everybody was chased that way. Now even that is destroyed. So there's no safe spaces anymore. In fact, you look at it, there's no Palestine left. There's no, you see. And Trump is talking about plans for not Gaza only, but for Palestine. And really, it doesn't sit well with me as a person. So therefore, I'm saying that at the FIFA Congress, we will put our position down. I cannot speak for Patrice Motsepe.
Sure.
He is the leader in himself. He's leading the continent.
Yes.
What he's going to say, I don't know. Where he will and which mandate he will take there. I just know that we need to do the right thing. From my side, I will continue pushing that.
Mr. Bailey, one last question on a slightly light note. Bafana. We're close to World Cup qualification. We're heading to the Africa Cup of Nations. I don't think I've ever seen South Africa or the national team, the senior national team, or the public being excited for the senior national team. Of course, our women were the African champions. We have obviously Amajita, who have just conquered the junior AFCON also at the same time. It's a good time for South African football, isn't it?
It is. We're doing exceptionally well. All our teams are doing well. Under 17 going to the World Cup, under 20 going to the World Cup. Our women teams, when I say women, I mean also all right throughout. They're doing well. Bafana's doing well. There's a new excitement. You will see people they flock to the stadiums nowadays. And that even spilled over now onto the club games. You will see it's no longer 2 or 3 people. It's people are now.
I mean, the MTN 8 was sold out.
Yes, they have confidence. There's a new vibe and energy. And that's got to do with the national teams doing well. I always tell people, when rugby does well, then there's an 80-minute unity in the country. When football does well, that carries on. And therefore, we have that responsibility to reimagine our country by having football doing well.
Mr. Bailey, absolute pleasure having you on. Long may the good times for South African football continue. We much appreciate it.
Now, I just want to say also, our next game will wrap it up for us. The game against Zimbabwe, and it looks like it might go wherever it's going to. But then the Rwanda one, we're just going to finish that off as a celebration. The same like we did. I promised people, I said, when we play the last game at the Cape Town Stadium, it will not be for us to qualify for AFCON. It will be a celebration. The same thing is going to happen now. With the last game, it's going to be a celebration. It is not about a qualification. We're just going to celebrate. Our players are doing well. Our coach, we must give all credit to our coach.
Yes.
When our coach took over, and I want to leave you with this. When he took over, they said, that's Madala. He must go spend time with his grandchildren. We don't need Madalas. They wanted, I don't know who they wanted, but not that Madala. Then he started picking the team. He kicked out name brands. And he said, this Madala's even getting worse now. He's bringing in people. He brought in Ronwin as the new captain. And that also brought a new perspective to the game and new energy. And then it just went like wildfire. So we are doing well. And now, because of that, there's a different mood in the country. But that must spill over to the Cape Flats. They are murdering people on the Cape Flats. And I'm saying that is where our responsibility is. So when we look at this donation that we did today to give up the givers, it's not just a check that we're giving. It's for them to continue with their humanitarian work. But also for us on this side, is to get involved and get our hands dirty to try and stop the killings on the Cape Flats. Because very soon, I know this was not part of the interview. This is me now speaking.
We've got 1 minute, Mr.
Yes.
Bailey. I have to give you 1 minute.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that as a person who grew up and was born on the Cape Flats and seeing what's happening on the Cape Flats now, we need to stop that. Otherwise, there'll be no next generation left.
Mr. Bailey, absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's Mr. Bennett Bailey. He's the SAFA Cape Town president and the national vice president of the South African Football Association. Do stay tuned to News in Focus. We'll have more for you after this break.